Howdy doody! Another day that's too good to be working inside. So I'm gonna go practice more landings. But after my fuel cap, I don't know if you want to call it a dilemma, I am going to tighten the offending fuel cap. There's a nut on the bottom, and I'm gonna see if that makes a difference, because we had unequal fuel flow, like it would drain out of one tank. And somebody had mentioned that the fuel cap, if it's not tight, and it makes kind of sense, it could, you know, there's a low pressure area on top of the wing that it would keep that tank from draining if the other one doesn't have that issue. So anyway, we're gonna try that. I also, my last videos went through the checklist, so I've been talking to Tony Wall. Again, awesome contributor and big help on the YouTube forum for anything build related. Him and Tina are doing an amazing job, so they're a big help for me. And we shared our checklist. So I had my checklist there, and he shared his. So I'm gonna put his to the test today and see. Obviously the planes are a little bit different, but he also goes at, I'm going at it from a complete rookie, you know, private pilot, semi low hours, and he's affiliated with the industry, I believe, somewhat. So anyway, so I'm gonna just go through this and see if there's anything I missed or if anything that I can add to ours. And I think that's about it for now. Okay, this is the original left cap. This is the original right cap. Originally, the right tank on the first flight was draining, so that means that cap is sealed and the left cap wasn't. Then on the next flight, I reversed the caps and I put the left cap on the right tank, and the left tank was draining. So that means the right cap is good and the left cap needs to be tightened. I must have dyslexia because this is really complicated. Or it's like those street vendors, you know? Which cup is the coin under? Oh, now I did it again. Left cap. I'll just tighten them both. Alright, so to the best of the ability with this flexing, these gaps here in the release state average about 3/16 of an inch, and the offending cap, the left cap, was just a tad bit bigger. So I don't know, I tightened this one a half a turn and I ended up tightening this one a quarter of a turn, and we'll see what happens. So at one point during the flight I realized there's a big vacuum here, like you can suck a piece of paper in there. I think I talked about that already. So I'm wondering if that vacuum is created all the way from the wingtip, you know, because that D-spar is obviously open, or something else. So first test we're gonna do. So I actually just got off the phone with Jeff from Aerosports, who's super helpful. So thank you. And you know, he was saying to block these things off. So I mean, I have these, and this is pretty tight in here. And that, I guess, could be creating somehow a vacuum. I mean, these are all glued around the edge, so I'm less suspicious of that, but I'm gonna put a piece of tape over it anyway. And his idea is actually great, to try and put a camera in the tail cone. My stupid old GoPro here is not, like, it won't run very long without being on a charger, so that might be the next flight to see where it's coming in. I actually have a second one, so I might use that, but for today, I'm gonna put these in here and see if that makes a difference. All right. All right, I just opened that door, and it's gusting pretty good out there, so I'm gonna wait a little bit until the wind resides. No place for my rookie ass to be out there. I will take this off because I always wanted to finish these little LED brows, and I actually came up with the Cobb mounted. I ordered some chip on board, whatever. They're like a lower profile LED strip that doesn't have the dots in it, so I'll give those a whirl. All right, check this out. I love it. That's so cool. And here's what I was trying to achieve. Before, if you're sitting, you know how you can see the light underneath, but look at how solid and uniform this is. This is really cool. I just hope it stays stuck up there. I didn't have to do any of the casing or anything. But when you sit here, I wanted the light to go far enough so it illuminates, you know, beyond the G3X, so it illuminates those switches on either side. But I didn't want to see the red, the actual red. So if the camera's back here, or whatever, like where I sit, and I sit pretty far back, I definitely can't see this side, and I can just see a tad on that side, but I think that's pretty good. So anyway, these are cob lights, like chip on board versus the SMD surface mount. It's kind of the difference between like this side mounted light versus like the LED in the front. So yeah, all right, at least we got something done today. Let's see if the wind died down. Alright, so I was monkeying around with lights all morning. Let's see if we can get a flight in without too much trouble. Still gusting, but I think I'll be okay. It's coming right down the runway. So I'm going to check my checklist against Tony's here and see. So I have a primary or pre-flight, and I have a normal checklist. His are kind of both combined here, so I'm going to see if there's anything that I need to add to mine that he might All right, that was just too much fun. Can you believe that sunset after I landed? That was beautiful, unbelievable. All right, so what we learned today is that the cap fixed the fuel problem. So really happy about that. They're even now, or at least a lot closer. And the the vacuum is not happening in the D-spar. I put rags in there and it made no difference. And I even went as far as making a little little piece of paper that I was holding there. If anything, it was maybe blowing in a little bit, like Jeff said, from that leading edge bolt. But the suction was right here. So that little guy right there, that sucked like mad. Like it was like a vacuum. And then we have that little gap in the door too. The door seals are tight, but when you close it, let me get in. See this little gap that I was concerned about before? So right here, it's just like, so makes a big difference. I'm gonna review the video, but it's very obvious that the smoke was coming in through here. So maybe on one of the next flights, I'll put a camera in the tail cone and do the, you know, see, you get to the bottom of it. And lights are awesome. Everything's awesome. This plane is great. All right, end this video. See ya. I know it's not a big building video anymore, but still having fun. Hope you like it. Thank you for watching. See ya.